Coke just came out with a commercial. It's all AI made. And so people's kind of like a little upset about it. So like, is everybody for AI here or is against AI?
I think it's very questionable. I can see it like people just like even screenshot and text messages. I feel like they could just make anything up.
That's
I feel
terrible.
pretty strongly about AI in this way, I guess. Seriously, what are we doing? Because it can't be good. It can't be good. So how is AI made? AI is made up by like coding, series of codes, whatever. There's probably more to that, but it can literally write code. So if it can write code, it can also rewrite its own code, you would think. And then that kind of goes down a whole rabbit hole. Of,
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Smith will be coming out.
iRobot.
Save us. Yeah.
And so like actors are having to sue over AI making stuff for them. If you think like that's a thing that's happening like every day right now.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he's having to sue. They're making AI content.
How can you sue though? I mean, like how could you hold that up in court?
I don't think what the problem that I have with it right now is I understand people don't like regulations and stuff, but like how do you argue it in court if there's no literature wrote up about how you handle it? Like I can't take a picture of you and then AI, have my own store and you was telling me about people taking pictures of your clothes that you have posted and like selling, like having the picture of your stuff. They just take your picture and try to use it, your stuff,
Yeah.
But I guess if you're a small business, I don't know how many layers of protection is built in as if you were Walmart or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, can you fight that? Or
you'd have to sue China, and how you going to do that? You just have to you have to let it go, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like AI only is going to advance, and it's going to get to a certain point where can we still control it? I mean, I don't know. We've watched enough sci-fi movies to kind of see how this could end, and I feel like there's not many possibilities. Like, I don't know.
Well, you watch an old sci-fi movie, like an old one, and there's stuff already better than what they were afraid of. You know what I mean? Like just something as simple. I remember in high school, which is just in 07, it's not that long ago, that I had just a little flip phone, and I thought it was so cool. It could take a picture and it was a little tiny screen and you almost couldn't see what it was,
Mm-hmm.
But look what a phone does now. And what is that? Just 20 years or so,
That's it. I think we're going to put too much on AI's plate to where it's just going to be detrimental to us because I don't know, man. I just don't see how there's anything that good that comes of it.
It messes with our knowledge because you literally quit reading books and looking into things. You just ask it something. And also it's like we're feeding it information. So it just knows everything. You know what I mean? Like it's simple. And your phone plays a big part in it. Like
and the stuff it does for us, if we just weren't lazy, we could do it ourselves. And it's just like, I don't know, man.
It's like taking all of our things we do on daily life away. Eventually you'll just be like, hey, DoorDash me McDonald's and it'll just pay for it and it'll be here.
Yeah. Dude, I'm already doing that.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, like actually not having to get on the app. You'll just be like standing here. You'll be like,
absolutely.
You'll probably have glasses or maybe not even glasses and you'll just see everything.
Probably
be floating in the air or something like a projector.
Probably by like the next year.
Yeah. I think it's where it's heading.
And it's like getting faster. We're used to, it took forever for something new to come out. Just take PlayStation 2, 3. Like it took a while each time. It wasn't like in 3 months there's like another PlayStation and like iPhones are doing and stuff and Androids.
Yeah.
It just happens so quick now. You get a phone in 2 or 3 months, they're like, the next one's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like.
Have you ever thought about how it may change? I know you're in construction. Like you think one day you'll be sitting at home and your equipment will be running and you'll just be at home watching the screen.
It's starting right now. Like they have remote controlled equipment right now in these mines and on mine sites where high walls are really big and stuff. But the cost isn't made. You know how used to, like a cell phone was a big deal if you had a cell phone, like way back. Mm-hmm. Now just everybody has a cell phone. Well, it's kind of in that stage right now with remote controlled equipment. Is like it's there, but I can't buy a remote control excavator as just a one man show type thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on all these different job sites in people's houses, so the mapping for it to have like parameters and stuff, it hasn't advanced yet to like use it on that micro level, but it's heading in that direction. And like, for example, Caterpillar excavators went from pilot controls to electro over hydraulic, controls. So you technically can plug something up and it's electronics. When you move the joysticks, it's electronics moving it. You're not moving oil yourself with a valve. You're telling it, you're requesting it to move or whatever. So all you have to do then is just get the remote and start doing it. Like the excavator's moving in that direction. Just all of them are made that way. So like there isn't, you can buy the remote one with electric, and it's all of them have electro over hydraulic now.
Yeah, I could see you just being in the living room, just having a screen behind you, just like a cab. And you just get into the cab and you controlling something, and like London or something, a kid steer.
Yeah, what job isn't AI coming for? Like, what job would be safe?
So, like, what is your
Like
thoughts?
you could hire a guy that's just that don't know nothing about it. He could drive your dump truck around. He could back it in for you, and he's not even there. That'd be crazy.
Video games.
It'd be video game controlled. I could see that.
So, like, what's your thoughts? Where you work at Dairy Queen, like if you pulled up and it's AI, that's already starting to happen. Like they're
kiosk and stuff is kind
of it's
kinda moving
Checkers.
in that direction.
Checkers is doing it.
There's actually a full operated AI McDonald's too.
Yeah, so like you go to Checkers and it's kind of funny. Like you walk up and it's the AI that takes the order, and then it's like the lady's like, "Here you go."
What's even crazy is that McDonald's actually has really good reviews.
So there's nobody
everything's
there.
Nobody.
Not a person.
Yeah, it's all
One
AI.
person. Yeah, it's all AI.
There's
one of these days, Anthony will be telling about how he worked at Dairy Queen, and his kids will be like, "Ain't nobody at Dairy Queen anymore working."
Right.
It don't even make sense. They're like, what? Like my kids still can't fathom. I know we have commercial ads, they call it, but to be able to say, I want to watch this Bluey episode, they can just click on it. I'm like, used to, it wasn't that way. And they're like, what are you talking about? You couldn't just go back and watch an episode. I said, no, you stayed up till 7 and didn't go to the bathroom or whatever and miss it. And that was it. Like it was gone. You didn't watch it no more. That episode was gone.
And like you're saying, my 3-year-old, she's now where she'll bring me the iPad. She's like, hit next. That's a commercial. Get that commercial off. And like we wasn't able to get the commercial off. And you had to toughen it up through it. You had to be tough.
So like, what are we comfortable with AI taking over?
I like how you can ask it stuff. It saves you time having to search through Google and just get random.
I'm
research.
okay with it replacing the search icon. That's about it.
I feel like that's as far as it should go.
Yeah,
So-
I think right now we're about as far as it should go.
So here's my thoughts with it. And like Justin's been using it a little bit, and I kind of put him onto it some. And it's been like, if you're in a bit just try it anything, ask it anything, and it will solve the problem. So we're thinking about like running a water line, and it's like 2,000 feet, and you just ask it like anything, and it will solve that problem for you now. Google's always been, you ask it something, and it's trying its best to relate you to it. Now it's like fixing it.
How did it say to dig it through that wet part?
So no,
The swampy part.
what we was trying to figure out, it's 3/4 that comes out, and it's going like 2,000 feet, and it's going incline, and it's like, it told me every so many feet that you go up that you lose so much psi, and then it was figuring that in, and literally it gave me. I said, hey, here's how far it is and how high it is. It goes, oh yeah, here's your answer. You know what I mean? Like
To see if you need like a pumping station or a booster.
So
pump,
like you
whatever
could
they
ask
call
it if you found out how big your yard was, like for example, you'd be like, should I buy the 48-inch mower or the 60-inch? And what is going to be the quickest? And it's going to be like, you should buy the 60, and this is how much time it would save you.
Yeah.
So you guys can call me a conspiracy theorist, but this is what I think. I think AI is training us to almost be dumber to the point of if there is ever a grid shutdown, what are we going to do? We don't know how to do anything anymore. Like we're going to come to a point where we're not going to be doing anything on our own.
But is it going the opposite way though? So like, let's say and this is like everybody that works fast food jobs, it's a great like entry level job, whatever. If AI starts taking these jobs that are very like entry level, does it force people to move up? Like they have to like feel like, well, if I don't do something, like I'm gonna be. Is that like a fair thing to ask if I'm coming off right or
I
not?
feel like they're going to get lazier,
But see, is that the
and
thing?
kind of like less motivated. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go into that fast food job and it's tough and you hate dealing with people, whatever your problems you have with it, and you're like, I want to do something different. You know, it motivates you. But like if you skip all that hard stuff, you're kind of, you know what I mean? Like you got to face some difficulties and overcome it, and it your thinking, all that stuff plays into it. Like how to problem solve, if you want to call it that, problem solving. Like that's what I tell my kids. Like they'll come in there every little bit and ask me or Camille something. I'm like, go figure it out. Like they're like trying to, between the three of them, play a game. And they come in there and tell me all the problems why this one ain't. I'm like, you just go figure it out. Like, go figure out how to play the game, compromise with each other, discuss it, and play.
Yeah, because there's that sense of like loss of achievement if you're not figuring things out, problem solving, and that, you know, AI doesn't have that human aspect of it. And if we look back, and we can go back to like the 70s, you know, we had a lot more labor workers, people worked hard, and they seemed happier on the outside because I felt like they had more community. They weren't always on their phones. They, I don't know, family time was really family time. It wasn't like kids on tablets at the dinner table eating, you know, and I think we're losing that human connection too through AI.
And that's something we don't do. Like when we're eating, we don't eat at the table every day, but if we're having a meal and my wife has cooked something, you know, we're going to go sit at the table, turn the TV off, because a lot of people have it playing in the background and the kids are watching it over your shoulder. We'll turn everything off, and actually I'll ask them what they do at school. What's this? What's that? Do you have homework? And then, you know, you talk back and forth.
That's
and
great.
kind of communicate with them, even though it may be 2 times a week or 3. We know how the weeks are, basketball games at night and stuff with the kids, extracurricular stuff. But that's what we try to do because I think it's something you need to do. And what you were talking about, that reward factor of old school people like building something, fixing something, it's got to do with dopamine. You know what I'm saying? The more you suffer or really work at something, it's a bigger dopamine release and stuff. But when you're like on your phone all day scrolling, you get like a little tiny drip all day long. So like my kids, I know it sounds funny, but I run equipment. They don't think it's that exciting as I used to.
Yeah.
Because they're on a tablet, like seeing anything they want to see as far as in the kids' tablet, you know. And it's not interesting to watch something scoop a pile of dirt and put it over here. But when I was a kid, it was like, that's a big deal. Look how big that machine is, and that's cool. But like, they're not impressed. It's like they already have seen so much. They're not impressed by just moving some rocks and dirt. And
it's kind of like that little thing you get on at the park. You know, you remember the little scooper? That was like the best thing in the world to get on that.
It was.
And just spin around and scoop the same. And have to get out and kick some dirt over.
Now that's not enough for kids. Kids will play
No.
on that for a few minutes, and then they're like, I want to go home. I'm like, listen, we didn't have that luxury. We were kicked out, and we were told, find something to do. If you're bored, deal with it.
Don't
That's
come in
good.
until it's dark.
Yeah, it's good that you're bored. Use your imagination. We were up in the freaking mountains with like sticks. We would go try to make a clubhouse, or
We did the clubhouse thing always. We was always building a fort. Clubhouse, we ran onto some nails and a hammer. We're like, this is going to happen.
yeah, I've stepped
We're
on a couple of
building
nails as
fort
kids. Yeah.
We used to play in the holler that I grew up in. All of us, like 8 or 10 of us, would play hide and go seek. Right as
Those are
it
the
started
best
to get
times.
dark in the fall,
Oh, God.
it would start to get dark. But you're talking aunts and uncles, all the houses, but there wasn't no snakes crawling. Obviously, that's why it was better in the fall.
Right.
But we would army crawl and go through culverts and everything. Like, it was so fun. But like now, even me, I almost wouldn't let my kids play it. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like they could handle it or something. I don't know. They probably could, but
Get itchy and everything.
but we'd crawl through the creek and everything, and it was amazing and fun.
You
We didn't
learn
want to go in.
most of what you learn as a kid through those things.
Yeah, we didn't even want to go in the house. Like they'd holler, it's time to come in, school tomorrow, whatever it is. And you're like, just a little longer, a little longer. Where like now I'll tell my kids, go outside and play. It's beautiful outside. Yeah, I don't want to. You're like, just,
It's like, how many bikes I wrecked and almost killed myself, and I had to learn to dial it back. Being an adrenaline junkie comes with a price, and you don't learn that by sitting at home on a tablet.
did anybody else in the where I grew up, we took the batteries out of the old Power Wheels and we would ride them down the steep Blacktop County Road and literally going into culverts, flipping like it was, they had plastic wheels. So you drifted, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
we would usually tie it to a bicycle, have somebody
Yes.
pull us, and then they
but
whip.
a Power Wheels with no batteries was even better because like we're taking it to the top and we're coming down, and one kid would watch for traffic coming around that curve that we had. There was one curve like you couldn't see, you had to stand in it, and we would just come off of that two at a time.
Yeah, we didn't. I lived just had a gravel road, and it was just
No, he,
you push it up the
hillside.
hill and you barely got anywhere.
This was wild.
Yeah,
Well, where you looked at the backhoe at is where that wide spot
yeah,
that you couldn't see around that bend, seeing up the road. That's where everyone would stand and wait for their turn, and you'd watch and flag a car down if it's coming. Be like, "Hey, John's coming down the hill. You gotta wait." Or there's one of my cousins, but if
had
you
like
go,
a flagger guy.
yeah, it was like a flag. Like you gotta have to wait.
People thought it was probably a mobile home coming through or something.
That's the thing. But
Think it's
like,
something important.
people just look at that and be like, well, that's just kids playing. But you learn a lot of just about like communication and how to navigate what's good and what's bad, what hurts, what doesn't hurt, like the risk taking,
Yeah.
like what kind of risk you can take, what's going to happen if I take this risk. You learn all that stuff by just getting out and being a kid, man, and just experiencing.
So it seems like, they said in the last 100 years, this is the least amount of progression we've made as a total. Like if you looked at the 1800s, they came out with the steamboat or whatever, and they started coming out with engines. And so like, do y'all remember when the iPad came out? Okay, like what, 2000, I don't know, 10, 8?
I don't know. I remember the what's the iPod first was
Yeah.
a huge thing.
I remember the iPhone came out when we was in high school, so
Yeah.
that would have been like 2005.
As I was
2009.
in high school, it wasn't happening yet. Like I was telling you, the cell phone deal kind of exploded after I got out of high school, and it went to the touch screen.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I
Solo
remember it
touchscreen.
was. It must have been like maybe senior year because I remember it seems like AT&T might have been singular at the time, and it was around the square downtown Barberville. You remember? It seemed like people were lined up around the square to get an iPhone, the
Dude,
first one.
Yeah, the iPhone was a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like right now,
I still had a slider phone.
yeah.
I did too for like several years after that.
The slide and text.
Yeah,
or-
this
I had the one where you slid it and turned sideways like a Game Boy or something and texted that. I thought that was the coolest.
Yeah, I don't
thing.
think I got an iPhone until like 2012.
I've always been on
Probably.
Android.
I got the
Just-
iPhone 4S. I think it's the first one we got
So
That was
the iPads. not to
4
interrupt
years
you.
after, I guess.
So the iPad, from when it came out to right now, how many times do you think is more powerful? Like if you were to guess, how many more times powerful is the first iPad the one you can go to the store and buy?
I would just say 10 because that just comes to mind.
10 times?
Yeah.
Go higher.
100
Go higher.
million.
That's not that high.
I skipped real
It's-
quick.
It's 8,000 times more powerful. Since the first, we remember when the iPad came out until now. It's 8,000 times more powerful.
And it's got like 5 more cameras on it, don't
And
it?
so,
But what does that do for us?
So-
Does that make us like 5 times more dumb? Because like
Well-
we're relying on these things. You know what I mean?
and that's what interesting with AI
creativity.
is like, let's take Justin's business, for example, or even like yours or mine or whatever. If something came out and like, are you moving towards getting this product and like trying to advance, or are we like trying to fight against it? And we always want to say like, like even with AI, I'm extremely skeptical too, but it's super cool at the same time. But if you You know, like dudes that come in the garage and they barely can walk, can't see, and they've got iPhone 12s. You know, like people move with the times. So like AI, are you like, if something comes out and it's your competitors got it, you have to get it too, right? I mean, like, you know, if they made a backhoe or like a skid steer that automatically did stuff for you, it's an advantage.
Well, they're doing it right now with like 3D and 2D grading and stuff, and I don't have it, and it is a disadvantage because I have to get out, set a laser up. But again, I like it because I was based in mechanics, so I was a mechanic for a while. I like physically seeing something and knowing, not like all the sensors on the machine tells me I'm 2 foot deep. I like to go measure and shoot with a laser and make sure I am 2 foot deep. You know, like it's just something. But I'm based in mechanics, and when you're based in mechanics, you're just thinking hands-on mechanical stuff all the time. But like there is machines, if you know how to run them, that you can sit it and beep, you know, a point, and it'll just stay on that point the whole time. And actually, you just like turn it on and pull the lever this way, and it moves the bucket, boom, everything how it should to stay on that level. You're not physically doing it. It just stays exactly the same. And then you do that and dump the dirt and do it again. Like it goes through the motion. Like you
So let
don't
me ask
have to
you
have the
this.
feel.
How many people in your industry actually have the money to get that type of equipment? So I would imagine like if it's like 60% have that ability, then it would really push you to maybe go that route. But if it's like a lower percentage that's able to afford that, I feel like
Well, the way I would put it in is residential work
Mhm.
where I'm just coming to do a job for you, or you know, not a commercialized type work. We're doing, you know, hundreds of acres or something, or a 10-acre spot that has to drain 3 inches or something. You know what I mean? Just very little drop. You got to have that laser stuff, like, or you can't even put in a bid. Like you will go under if you don't have all that stuff on a big commercial job. You can't like guess at it or just take a stick and measure a couple of things.
I mean, what are you going to do if like, well, if you blow a hose or something, you're going to have to get in the car and drive over there if you was at home. You would be out of hydraulic fluid.
I feel like, if you think about
that's
this,
interesting.
I feel like you'd be very safe to be a mechanic still. Because just think about it. I'm not saying robots can't mechanic, but when you get machines in weird places and they're off underneath a mountain, or you know what I'm saying, like how can you just all of a sudden tell that robot to go and take this wrench, take that one off? I'm sure there's smart enough people to set it up, but now it breaks over here and over there, and now while you're here, you see oil leaking here. Like a mechanic is still pretty safe right now, kind of. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because you're just on so many different things. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's just so much that you have to know as a mechanic and do it, and like hands on and turn it. Can robots like start a bolt easily, or is that like a big deal to like reach under and start a nut on something? You know what I mean?
It would be handy to have one just standing there, you know, just standing beside the machine. And if you hit a line, hit a water line or something, you just say, get down in there and, and fix that, dude. Get
I
it
would
in
like
there.
to have a robot for a ground laborer. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, fill up your your fuel and stuff.
Yeah. Be like,
pretty
fill
cool.
all this up and service it. I'm leaving.
Yeah, grease those fittings, buddy.